Welcome back to On a Mission, where we highlight industry leaders who are making a big impact both locally and worldwide. I'm Morgan Yonge, and today I'm joined by Joe Annotti? Joe Annotti with TRC Companies. Joe, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Morgan. Appreciate having me.
Yes. So will you tell us a little bit about your mission and what you have going on with TRC?
Yeah, absolutely. So TRC is a global engineering company focused on providing efficient economic energy solutions, community by community and project by project. Our goal is to support our clientele. We do a lot of utility work, upstream utility work, down to where my practice sits with commercial transportation, find the right economic, environmental, and financial and social solutions to the various problems that they may face. For our particular sector, it's looking at how alternative fuels can be integrated into traditionally diesel operations. So when you're looking at commercial trucking or marine, rail applications, those are all long dominated by diesel. With the advancement of new innovative technologies in natural gas and propane, electricity, we're seeing a lot of new options, and we're working with our clients to figure out if those options are appropriate and how to integrate them.
Beautiful. And when you connect with a company, what is it that you take them through to kind of audit their system?
Yeah, the first thing is understanding the drivers for it. And so a lot of times it may be a logistics company or a shipping company who is motivated by their partners who they're hauling their goods for. And that partner may say, hey, we've got certain sustainability goals. You're our scope 2 emission provider in terms of our GHG emissions. We need you to take these actions. And so that may be a motivating force. A lot of times we'll work with school districts whose motivating forces are much different because they've got 100 kids in the back, and they want the diesel fumes to be out of the cabin so their kids have a healthier ride. I have a son with bronchial malaise, and so I worked on a project in our school district to replace those diesel buses, and that was something that was immediately noticeable. And there's those types of intrinsic motivations as well. And so it really depends client by client how you differentiate, and understand their core goals. From the core goals, that then sets you on the alternative fuel transportation journey to figure out, are we a fuel agnostic type of fleet? We don't care what it is, we just want to be better, or we want to go fully zero, so we're looking at batteries or hydrogen. It really kind of can go anywhere from that point.
That's so cool, and it's got to be so fulfilling too.
Sure.
To know that you're making a bigger impact on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the really cool experience that we work on a lot of aviation projects, and so going into an airport terminal and looking down, all that little equipment, the diesel equipment that runs your bags around, we write a lot of the grants to replace that equipment. And so, I can sit there and watch equipment that I wrote for 2 years ago now deployed. Or, going near some of the ports in LA, we've done a tremendous amount of work out there. Being stuck in traffic, which is inevitable, but being stuck in traffic next to an electric truck is way better than being stuck in traffic next to a diesel truck.
100%.
So, there are really cool, neat, little tangible experiences that we've been fortunate to have.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's been some changes in the White House in the past couple of weeks. So will you tell me how that's affecting your work? Absolutely.
I mean, it's an incredibly dynamic environment. One of the things that I've seen from my experience, having gone through several administrations, from being a federal official at the EPA for a long time, is it's not unheard of for a new administration to come in and take a breath. Come in, pause things, and say, hey, we're going to get control of where we're at, try to understand the market, and go from there. So the pause from 2 weeks ago is not unprecedented. The next step is going to be the critical one when that pause is released, when funding comes back, grant programs are kind of reevaluated and reorganized. We have seen, this administration the first time around do really, really positive things in the environmental space. And so I would love to be able to say, okay, this X, Y, and Z are going to happen next, but the dynamic nature of the environment right now ultimately leaves me saying, I don't know quite yet. We're going to work on it though, and that's really what we're trying to do with our clientele is and reinforce this concept that you don't build lighthouses in calm seas, and so with us as an advisory services firm being a lighthouse for our clients, we need to recognize this is kind of part of the nature of things, and to evaluate over time, find the right intelligence, not make those snap judgments and quick, flex reactions, and to really make sure that we're driving through with the correct process.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And with Elon Musk working so closely
Sure.
with Trump these days, it's got to be kind of a good news for you, thinking about it in that
Yeah.
light that, they are thinking energy forward.
For sure. Elon and in particular that Tesla is the ultimate disruptor for the alternative fuels market. I mean, he did it in the automotive space, and that's something we expect to happen in 2025 and 26 in the heavy duty space when the Tesla Semi is launched. So when that Class 8 vehicle comes to market, that could be a major boon for a market that hasn't seen the adoption that the industry would have liked to have seen. The rates, of integrating into that technology into fleets hasn't been as high as people want. The costs haven't come down as much as people had hoped. So we may be looking at an opportunity to disrupt that market to a point where you kind of shake loose some things. So it could be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
for sitting with me and dumbing this down for me just a bit so
Pleasure.
that we can understand such a grand company
Of course.
and what you guys do.
Thanks so much,
appreciate it.
Morgan.
Yes. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of On a Mission. If you want more information about Joe and his company, head on over to dailynewsnetwork.com. You'll find it all there. We'll see you in the next episode of On a Mission.